to be totally honest with you. But then again, I don't understand the legal system down there here in the United States, down in was it Carolina, with Greg Hardy. I don't understand. I mean, they've got a convoluted system down there where you go to trial once in front of a judge, and then you get found guilty by the judge, but then you get the option of throwing that out and saying, you know what, I'm going to take a second chance with the jury trial. I don't like how the first one ended up. And then you start all over. What was the point of doing the judge's trial to begin with? Because, I mean, there's only two outcomes according to the defense. You're either going to be found not guilty, or we're just going to say, never mind, let's put this up in front of a jury. As I read into that, I saw Jerry Richardson out there complaining, and I'm like, about the Ray Rice thing, and he was getting all emotional, and I'm like, what in the world is he talking about? He's got a player here that's a very egregious example of this. But, you know, as you look into that, I don't necessarily understand that. I guess it's just a localized judicial system and the way they do things there. But he got the opportunity to present all of that. The case was done in front of a judge. The judge decided he was guilty, and they said, well, you know what? We changed our minds. We're going to go with that jury trial after all. And so now he gets to go through the whole thing all again and stall that out. But I saw that Richardson was he was crying when they were talking to him about the Greg Hardy and the Ray Rice and the comparisons there. And I'm like, man, because I got to be honest with you, man, looking – and I'm sure the Ravens wish that they did too. And I know still, one of the things that just look at how long it took to get kicked with them. I remember the day they tweeted about that, and they tweeted the quote of Ray Rice's woman taking responsibility for her part in getting assaulted there. And I thought that was the worst look you could have ever done there as the team. And they left it there for months. They deleted it Monday. Like, and so when you leave something up there for that long and then you delete it, first off, it had been screen grabbed like 15,000 times by that point. But I mean, there's nothing you can do more to say I shouldn't have said that than to delete a tweet after you put it up there. By the way, Paul George did the same thing this morning, and I know his tweets have been taken down, but he had several tweets this morning that people just boom, right to him. And you know what? I get it that you're in the off season and you're banged up and you got time on your hands and your phone in your hands, but somebody needs to teach these guys, or maybe not. Maybe it's good that guys are left to their own devices to show people who they really are. Because part of me wants to say you could probably make a ton of money being the person who just runs these guys' social media accounts for them and just keeps them clean and above the fray. But then again, all you're getting is fake. You're not really getting the actual person. So then again, part of me thinks that isn't it. But yeah, Paul George deleted several tweets in the NFL. He said, I don't condone hitting women or think it's cool, but if she ain't tripping, then I ain't tripping. Let's keep it moving. Laugh out loud. Let that man play. I mean, that's as brazen as can be to basically be saying, if she didn't mess with me, then I didn't mess with her. And that's how that whole thing happened. Yeah, they're after Paul George today. What did he say? In another tweet, if you're in a relationship and a woman hits you first and attacks you, then you obviously ain't beating her. Homie just made a bad choice. Stay up. I got to tell you, no matter what your feelings are on these things, these guys have got to have more common sense than that, because absolutely right. The mob was out, Charles, with pitchforks and torches on Twitter, and he knew it. He instantly pulled that down. But, you know, what else did he tweet? He also said, let's keep it 100%. Let's act on police violence like we're acting on Ray Rice. Stay strong, homie. And, yeah, not a good look at all. And again, I don't understand how these guys just don't have people. Phone caddies, we talked about that before with Manziel. And I'll go a step further, man. Twitter account caddy. You shouldn't be allowed to access your own account. You should have to forward your tweets to somebody. See, that's what I want to do. I want to start that business. Ron Graham, if you're out there listening, how do we get a Kickstarter going and start up the Save You From Yourself athlete social media business? I want to be the guy. Your job is when you tweet something, instead of hitting tweet, you hit send, and you send it to J-Rock, and I look at it, and I go, No way, you doofus. We're not going to put this out here and undo all the work that you've done to build up your brand. But then again, at the same time, all you're giving them, like I said, is a shield that just protects them from themselves, to just let these guys go of their own devices and leave them out there and let them damage themselves. Let them damage their brands, because that's what everybody's so worried about. Let them damage their money making ability, because maybe then, I don't know, whatever. But why? I could not see why anybody would just put themselves in the middle of this. But Paul George was bored this morning, and he obviously found a way to put himself dead in the middle of this conversation. Speaking of in the middle of, Indians in the middle of that game, I just saw another update from Bruce. Looks like Yan Gomes with a home run here may have added to the score for the Indians as they're taking on the Twins in the first game of the doubleheader today. Yep, Gomes with the home run. It's a 3-1 Indians lead now. Game still in the bottom of the second inning. We'll continue to update that as we go on. Speaking of, Mike Brandenberry from didthethrivewinlastnight.com will be joining us just a few moments from now as Kyle Gibson and Corey Kluber going at it down at Progressive Field here today. Indians, a must-win, must-sweep doubleheader for them here today. You know what? Let's go ahead and take a break. I missed Kendall Lewis both times with the connections. I can't do anything about it while we're live on the radio. I apologize for those of you tuning in to hear him. But we got to keep it moving. So I'm going to take a break. I'll get you some break here, some news. We'll get things back on track. I'm going to get Mike Brandenberry from didthethrivewinlastnight.com. We'll jump on the air here. We'll talk about that Indians game that's going on, the doubleheader today, the week that was for the Indians. Get all the latest Tribe talk. Mike Brandenberry from didthethrivewinlastnight.com. He'll be joining us here just momentarily. In the meantime, keep the conversation rolling with us on Facebook and Twitter and email, facebook.com/thesportsfix. Tweet with us at thesportsfixcle. Email us, thesportsfix@aol.com. And you know what? Before we go to the break, something else that I got away from at the beginning of the show as we were going, and I mentioned it to you guys a little bit, teasing, talking about the Browns. I wonder if anybody is still sitting around this morning going, hey, does anybody know the status of Josh Gordon for Sunday? It's the same as it was yesterday and the same as it will be tomorrow. Not eligible to play. I did some research last night. You guys know we've been talking about this vote. And as of right now, the latest is at least tomorrow. We're looking at least Friday, you guys, before there's even something, maybe, potentially, for the players to vote on, because this thing wasn't even close, as we talked about the other day. They don't even have a response back yet from the NFL to the changes that they wanted made. So all of that in the air. But I went and did some research because, you know, John and I, McMullen, we were talking on Monday. We mentioned how, and he mentioned how long this has been going on. For those of you guys that don't know, take a guess. Yeah, I'm not gonna, tease you too long, but just think in your head, how long do you think? When do you think was the first time that the NFL reps sat down and put something together for the players to vote on? You would be correct if you guessed August of 2011, because that August 2011 is when they first began crafting this that we're talking about right now. It's a side rider to the collective bargaining agreement about the drug policy specifically, and they have been working on it since they got back with the new CBA in August of 2011. There have been at least 7, 8, 9 different versions that have come close to a vote, but never even gotten to the voting stage. So it makes me laugh, as I talked about yesterday with this deal is near done. It's a done deal. It's pending. It's coming. They're working on it. They have been working on it since Pat Shurmur was a rookie head coach for the Cleveland Browns. They have been working on it. I'm telling you, Eric Mangini's stuff wasn't even out of the office yet when they were. I'm only slightly exaggerating, but if to put it in Cleveland Browns fans' terms, they've been working on this thing for at least 3 head coaches, for about a half a dozen different starting quarterbacks, and they still haven't got it. So putting that in Browns terms for you guys to realize just how long this thing has been in the works and not been able to make happen. So there you guys go with that. Meanwhile, people still still continue to wonder if this is going to go down, and it very may well. They've now, at least they got smart enough to say, we're not going to spend every day this week going, well, maybe tomorrow, they're going to have it tomorrow, and they now pushed it off till Friday. And I'm just telling you, if you've been holding your breath, let me know what time the funeral is, because I don't think you've been breathing pretty well. But yeah, go back over 3 full years now that this thing has been to this point where they get it crafted, they bring it to the table, they say, you know what, we're not even going to vote on this, try it again. So there's your odds of things happening. If you're a Broncos fan, Browns fan, Wes Welker, Josh Gordon, I'm telling you, they may come back, but they're not coming back this weekend. There's not a chance. I mean, seriously, this has gotten ridiculous. But I wanted to update you guys on that, because when I went back and looked, I said I keep telling people they've been doing this for a while, but not specifically going back and telling you. So that's how far back this thing goes. We're going back to Pat Shurmur with that. All right, guys, let's take a break. As I said, now I was teasing it before. Get you the news. My man Mike Brandenberry from didthethrivewinlastnight.com is going to join us here when we come back. We'll talk about the Indians game. Tribe's up on it right now. We'll talk about the latest going on with the Indians, all of that. Mike Brandenberry from didthethrivewinlastnight.com. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Oh, maybe we won't. There we go. We'll be right back. All kinds of technical problems today, but who cares? This is live radio. We push through it. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Coming up next after the news, Mike Brandenberry from didthethrivewinlastnight.com. Next, here on the Sports.
Sports Fix want to make all of your dreams come true.
What about my dream?
Edith, I told you I can't build your candy house. It will fall down. The sun will melt the candy. It won't work.
It will if it never rains.
Oh, maybe not all of them. Get your fix on the Sports Fix.
This is head coach Gary Waters at Cleveland State, and you're listening to the Sports Fix.
Whether it's an oil change or a new set of tires, Ford Truck has you covered for your automotive car care needs. They're your neighborhood quick service experts. They also offer a low price tire guarantee. Choose from 13 brands, and if you find the same tires at a lower price within 30 days, Quick Lane at Valley Ford will refund the difference. They're open late Monday through Thursday until 9 p.m. and open early Saturday so you can check it off your to-do list. Have a newly remodeled service lounge and additional service bay just for Quick Lane oil changes. Quick Lane at Valley Ford Truck is located at 5715 Canal Road, right under the 480 bridge in Valley View, just down the road from Independence. 5715 Canal Road, right under the 480 bridge in Valley View, just down the road from Independence. Come see why life is better in the Quick Lane. QuickLane.com/Valley Ford Truck. That's QuickLane.com/Valley Ford Truck.
The Sports Fix is now available every day on the world's largest internet radio service, iHeartRadio. Download the free iHeartRadio app, subscribe to the show, and get your fix.
Business owners and professionals, do you want to take your business, your product, your team, your event to the next level? You want to advertise right here with the Sports Fix. Our listeners are among the most loyal listeners, terrestrial or internet. The Sports Fix universe is not only the radio show, but tens of thousands of fans on Facebook and Twitter. Email me, Jerry Myers, thesportsfix@AOL.com. That's thesportsfix@AOL.com. And let me help you swing for the fences and hit it out of the park right here on the Sports Fix.
News break. Good morning, I'm Bob Picozzi. We are now only 10.5 hours before kickoff tonight in Baltimore, but this evening's Ravens-Steelers showdown seems to be a mere afterthought. Former FBI Director Robert Mueller has been appointed by the NFL to conduct an investigation into how the NFL handled the Ray Rice domestic violence incident. ESPN NFL insider Chris Mortensen says the emphasis must be on transparency.
That it's going to be made public, I think, is very important. We don't know when it will complete itself. And the full cooperation of NFL personnel and access to all records, such as the phone records and whatever else, will be made available to Mueller. And I think that's extremely important to the integrity of their own institution, the NFL.
The investigation will be overseen by Giants owner John Mara and Steelers owner Art Rooney. Ravens owner Steve Bisciotti held a town hall-style meeting with employees yesterday, inviting them to ask anything they wanted to know about how his team handled the incident. This according to ESPN sources and NFL.